Every week I meet with somebody new, I start thinking about the things they're dealing with, the changes that are going on within them, the questions they're asking, the confusion that's involved. So today we're going to be talking about life in Florida, and we're going to be talking about my new life in Florida. We're getting after that next. Hey everybody, my name is Craig Cunha. I'm a real estate agent here in Southwest Florida, and if you're looking for a channel to tell you a little bit more about what it's like to live, play, eat, sleep, and buy real estate on the Gulf Coast, this is the channel for you. Go ahead and subscribe, hit the little bell, make sure you're notified every time, and if you want to get your search started in advance, go to ournextfloridahome.com, and you'll be able to get started searching on the MLS just like we use. I'm getting calls from people every single day, and I absolutely love it. And if you're one of those people that has an extra question, just isn't quite sure, reach out to me. You can call me, text me, email me. Any of those ways, I'll be sure to get back to you because I've got your back when moving to the Gulf Coast. Okay, so first off, I have to tell you about something super exciting that's going on. I talked about going on to the website to get started for the MLS, right? Well, I was told by Kyle and Jessica this week that the system's a little clunky. It might not be as easy to use as some of the other popular web searches out there. So I went and I got an app for my business. So I'm very shortly going to have this app that'll be on your phone that's going to work like one of the most popular systems that's out there. It's going to have the ease of use. It's going to have all the contacts, all the ways to reach me at a push of a button, and it's still going to be connected to the MLS. So it's going to be faster, more accurate, and you're not going to wonder if it's still there because if it's in the app, it's still there. Anyway, that's going to be released in a couple weeks. They're working on it as this is being recorded, and I'm so excited to bring this to you because it's going to make your experience silky smooth from beginning to end. Okay, so I have to bring up some kind of negative news about moving to Florida. You know, I love to talk about negative news for Florida, but these are some statistics that are being thrown around. You know, I talked about the bicycle safety last week and how we're one of the most dangerous states. And we're also one of the highest for child drownings, and we're also one of the highest for pedestrians that are killed. Well, you figure if the bicyclists are getting killed by these crazy drivers, that pedestrians are probably involved too. But remember, we have a lot of beach towns. We have a lot of coastline, a lot of pedestrians there, a lot of people crossing these roads. Again, just like I said with bicycling last week, fantastic weather, 365 days a year. So there's a lot of people on the road, on the sidewalks, in the parking lots. They're all over the place. So the best thing you can do with our population spiking the way it is just open your eyes, be a little more patient, and pay attention. And if you're one of those pedestrians or bicyclists, put the phone down. Stop texting and walking. I mean, people literally walk into poles now because they have their face down on their phone. Pay attention to what's going on around you. Make your situation a little bit easier for those driving around you. And drivers, hey, again, keep your eyes open. Make everybody safe. Well, speaking of, again, bicycling, one of our big things it's happening this week is my son. He grew up a little bit this week. He decided he's going to get rid of his dirt bike because there's really nowhere to ride it, and he kind of outgrew it. So what did we do? We sold it. Yeah, I know. Oh, boo, hiss. But what he did is he went out and got himself a new e-bike. And I've got to tell you, I was skeptical at first about these e-bikes and kind of what they offer and are they really that fast? Because he's had a smaller version of an e-bike previously. Then it was probably going 20 miles an hour, maybe 18 miles an hour around the neighborhood. And this thing is a rocket. I could not believe it. It's called an aerial rider. This is the 52V X-Class. And wow, we got it up to 41 miles an hour. He did, I should say. He weighs maybe 100 pounds. So he got the thing up to 41 miles an hour just on the throttle, no pedaling. I tried it out. I was up to 35 miles an hour on this, and I'm a little bit more than 100 pounds. But anyway, I just wanted to bring this up because we are adding a lot of bike paths and a lot of ways to commute around here. And with this new power within, they say it has a range of 70 miles if you're pedal assisting the whole time. If it's throttle only, you're about 35 to 40 miles. So you can get back and forth to Fort Myers and Punta Gorda. In fact, my son's already asking, Dad, when yours comes, can we go up to Punta Gorda on the bikes? Okay, son, calm down, slow down. We'll talk about it. Anyway, if you're somebody looking for an alternate way to get around town, don't worry about having to be on the road. You've got sidewalks and bike paths as well. and there's also a bunch of back roads you can use. But these things are pretty useful, and now they're super efficient. So you may want to consider an e-bike for yourself when you're living in Florida. Here's something that's happening this week too, and it comes back to driving. They just started a new program, a new safety initiative, and it's called Operation Southern Slowdown. So the states of Georgia and Florida, they're coming after everybody that's speeding. So if you're a lead foot like some people can be, you might want to pay a little more attention, slow down a little bit. They are going to be enforced. I've started noticing some of those radar machines along the side of the road. I haven't seen too many police perched out there yet, but this thing just started. They were talking about the number of deaths on the highways, and again, it's another big number. So they're trying to corral this. It is something that's happening more in our area than what they're seeing in some other areas. That's why the crackdown. But if you're somebody that likes to drive fast, you might want to just chill out a little bit just for the time being. Let things cool off. And who knows, maybe it'll be your new driving style. Okay, so I wanted to bring up Dave Ramsey. He came out the other day talking about this may still be the best time in the next 5 years to buy a house. And a lot of people are really skeptical right now about buying a house because they're seeing all these fear mongers, especially on YouTube. There's guys out there that every day are posting crap about the market blowing out and it's 2008 all over again. And oh my gosh, the sky is falling. You know what? You've already seen my video about the negatives in Florida. Yeah, it's the biggest video I've had. People love the negative stuff. I don't do the negatives for you to just come running to see it. I want to tell you the negatives to prepare you for something that you might not be surprised by when you come. But Ramsey's saying, don't let this hold you back. This is still going to be one of the best times to buy in the next 5 years just because of where things are. He still sees prices going up. Yes, it's going to plateau a little bit, but we're still going to see increases. And by that 5th year, yeah, it's going to be higher. So why are you waiting for it? And you can always refinance later if you think the rates are too high. I did share with you some of the builders are buying down rates for you, so that makes it even easier. But I want to thank Jay and Jackie because they're the ones that turned me on to Ramsey in the first place. He's very conservative, so if you don't know who this financial expert is, he's very conservative in his ways. But when somebody that conservative is saying it's still a good time to buy a house, do you think maybe you ought to too? Or at least consider it? Because these rent prices, they still can't get control of them. They're still through the roof. And I had seen an example of another story just the other day where a couple was having their rent increase to $2,400 a month. So they went out and tried to go ahead and get financed for a mortgage. Turns out $1,900 was the number they were given. So they're saving themselves $500 a month just because they decided to take the step towards getting a mortgage. So if you're on the fence about it, I'd look into at least seeing what the numbers look like for you so that maybe you could be saving yourself a few $100s a month as well. Okay, let's not follow the Chinese on the newest thing that they're going to do. Boycott your mortgage? Seriously? Who the hell thought that up? So yeah, you want me to run out, not pay my mortgage, have my credit turned upside down, have them foreclose on my home, and put me on the street for what? Why the hell would I do that? Now I have crappy credit. I can't buy another house. It's going to take forever to get my credit back in order to buy a house. And then I'll have to pay a mortgage again. Because I didn't just become independently wealthy, did I? Don't pay any attention to this. This is just another BS thing to get attention. So keep paying your mortgage so you can stay in your house. And back on the housing thing, or continuing on the housing thing, Redfin was saying that our area here in Cape Coral, Fort Myers, we're one of the top 10 metros of places that people are still moving in bigger numbers, and we're also buying at higher prices. So this is another example of Ramsey and his thought process. He's right on with what he said. So if Redfin's backing this up and saying that we're seeing still this growth and increases in our market, you know, it's just another sign. So do what you want. If you have questions about it, I'd be happy to talk to you about it. But this is just what I'm seeing in the market right now. In the 11 most underrated towns, Lachey and Punta Gorda made that list. These are both very small, very quaint towns that you can live in. Lachey is very small. It is literally an island between Pine Island and Cape Coral. The houses, a lot of the houses literally are half sitting on pilings in the water. So it is a true little fishing village, great waterfront dining, very small place, and very tight-knit group of people that live out there. In any case, That's one of them. The other one is Punta Gorda, which we've talked about before. It used to be about 20 to 25,000 people. That number continues to climb. It is one of the fastest growing and higher appreciation towns in all of Florida. It is very nice, great waterfront dining. Again, Fisherman's Village is one of the best. We go up there all the time, either riding motorcycles, taking the boat, whatever it is. These are both wonderful towns. They are underrated, but once again, we put this out there and let people know about it, there's more people going to go there. So it's going to make it even worse. But if you're looking for a smaller town kind of a feel, right now, this time of year in the summertime, you might get away with still having some of that. But as Zach and Joey will tell you, they moved into Punta Gorda, and when season hits, it's season everywhere. Anywhere on the coast, I don't care what town you try to go to, it won't matter. They're all busy. So if you're planning to live in a smaller town, getting a small town feel, don't do it on the coastlines, because in the season, it's still going to be super busy. All right, so you might have heard there's record heat for half the country, all the south, from California across to the Carolinas and down into obviously where we are here in Florida. But how would we know the difference? This is what we're used to. This is our temperature in the summertime. And what's funny is I just had Kyle and Jessica out here from Colorado, and we're out and about. And the other day, we're just standing there and just admiring the temperature. We're standing in the sun. We're not even in the shade. And they're saying how nice and comfortable it is. So as far as the heat wave, I don't know. I guess some other places can feel this. And this is where you say you want the changes of season. And, oh, Florida's so miserably hot. Well, now you're getting the miserable hot. And then you're going to get the freezing cold. Here in Florida, you'll acclimate. You'll get used to this. Warm is just warm, and when it cools off, it's, yes, refreshing, but this warmth, we actually look forward to it. When you go to a store right now, it can be so damn cold sometimes that you're looking forward to walking back out of the store to get the warmth. It's that nice to have it once you get used to it. And if you don't want to get used to it, maybe you can wrap a cool towel around your neck or get a pacifier. That might help. Because it's not changing, it's going to be hot. Get used to it, or I guess go back north. And last thing on that, it's not called a heat wave here. It's just called summertime. Now in our area, people celebrate the sunsets in very unique ways. This happened to be I forget what they even call these things, drum circle or something like that. But anyway, they had this one at Sarasota, out on the beaches there. They also do this down in Key West with a bunch of street performers. So if you're somebody that likes to have celebrations and party and you love sunsets, you might want to look these things up, because it's a unique way that we show our appreciation for these beautiful sunsets that we get here on the southwest coast of Florida. And oh crap, masks are back, and surprise, surprise, where is it? California. Yeah, San Diego is bringing back the mask for indoor places. You know what? I am staying completely out of this. You know how I feel about masks. Florida's an awesome place. We're one of the few places that kind of bumped it out sooner than later, and I don't think it'll ever come back here. But yes, there are places that are going to start doing it. I wouldn't be surprised if New York was next. Europeans come here on vacation. Europeans also do something very unique where they're from in many cases. They like to sunbathe sans clothes. Well, this week there was a complaint that these people had visitors in a house near them, a vacationing home, and there's naked people running around out on the lanai. Hey, we can't appease everybody. You can't be calling in the police every time that you're offended. If you don't like it, don't look, put up a screen, build up your landscaping, put up a privacy fence, whatever it has to be. Your neighbors, they don't know your customs, but where they come from, it's perfectly acceptable. So try not to make it difficult for them, and do the best you can to protect yourself and your vision by screening it. And this week I heard that there were whole families on street corners begging. I can't say I've ever seen this. I've seen individuals, and I've seen individuals hanging out that were homeless. It exists, especially nowadays, probably even worse. There is a ban in place that was supposed to keep the panhandling, as they call it, off the streets. And it is still in effect. But once again, like many of the other things going on, it's not enforced. So without enforcement of this, it could exist. If you want to help out, help out. If you don't believe them and you think they're just shysters, then don't support it. Don't give them any money. But you may see it. Once again, I haven't seen it, but it is something that came up in a post just the other day. And I don't want you to be shocked if you happen to see homeless people asking for money. All right, so that's a little bit more about life in Florida and what your new life in Florida may look like. Some things to prepare yourself for. And if you have any other questions, they could be answered in one of these other 2 videos. And if you've got a specific question that wasn't answered on this video or in any of the others, go ahead and call, text, or email, because I've got your back when moving to the Gulf Coast.